Alright, this is Ben Holcomb of EWScene.com. I also run the EFED, the United Toughness Alliance, WrestleUTA.com. And recently, I released some screenshots of some belts that I did for the UTA, which showed the plates rising off. And I got a lot of requests right away of, well, how do you do that? Well, that's what I'm going to show you today. I'm going to be using Poser Pro 2014. However, anything I think from Poser 7 or 8 up should be able to do this. Maybe a little bit newer, I'm not sure. And I'm not quite sure how this translates over to DAS, but it can be done. Anyways, whenever rendering a belt, you know, in Poser, this is what you're usually used to. A flat image has the plates just sitting there. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get these plates here to rise up a little bit to give it more of a depth of fill and realistic filling to it. Let's see here. As you can see, I've already loaded the initial textures into Poser. I'm using a belt that you can actually find on EWScene.com in the free section. Really great belt. It has different areas in which you can bend it and give it a more realistic feel to it. Definitely suggest you check this out. If you don't know how to load textures, go to your material tab and just basically click on each one and load your texture. We got the regular belt here. We're going to apply that there. And then we got the bump map down here. And I'll cover that in a moment. Anyways, whenever you render this file, it'll come out just like boom, this. Alright. Let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you exactly how we get those plates to pop up, rise, and give you a really awesome feeling. First off, I've already created this here to kind of do that pre-render and show you what we'd be looking at. But I'll go ahead and go over the basics with you. What I did was, let me hide these layers. Started out with a plain black background for the belt. This is actually the championship belt. Let's see if I can open it right up. It should. I don't. If you've used this championship belt before, it comes like this, and you know, all this is a blacked out version of the strap. It's not really black. It's more of a grayish color, and that was my starting point. Then I went ahead and created a new layer over that. And in this new layer, I went ahead and set a pattern overlay to give it more of a leather feeling, and then I did a color overlay to with the opacity down to give it kind of like, you know, a darker thing. If you've used Photoshop for any amount of time, you should know how to do this stuff. Maybe you find an awesome leather texture you want to use or whatnot. That's great. Just whatever you need to do, make sure you get how you want your belt to look leather-wise. I created a new layer then, and this is where I actually put the plates. These plates are available on EWScene.com in the download section. They're part of Eric's Build a Belt 1. But you can use any plates you want. You can custom draw them on here. I mean, it's Photoshop. You use Photoshop normally. That's not why we're here. But I've already built this. But as like I said, as you'll notice, I've got the background. Then I've got the leather, and then I have the actual plates here, all on separate layers. This is very important. Okay. First thing you want to do whenever you're building your textures, once you have your base texture done here, you want to save it. I've already saved it as championbelt.jpg on my desktop. Then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and knock the bump map out of the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and flatten the image, and then going to adjust it and do black and white. And from here I'm going to save this as Champion Belt B for bump map, and now I have my my bump map. It's a black and white image. It pops out. If you want to make this even better, you can probably darken it and whatnot, but this is really going to make the texture of the leather come out and stuff. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and undo the black and white, and I'm going to go ahead and undo the merge to merging the layers. And the reason I'm doing this is because now I'm going to show you actually how to get the plates to step up like that. First thing is first, I'm going to turn off the layer here with the gradient for the leather, and then I'm going to go ahead and on the main background, I want to do the belt as actually black, and just to be on the safe side, I'm going to do another layer here and just black. I want that black. Okay. Then I'm going to come to the layer that has the plates. And what I want to do is I want to go ahead and select just those plates, inverse selection. Oops. Alright, now I have just my plate selected, and from here I am going to paint them white. Okay. Now this is kind of like building a transparency map. So if you're building a transparency map at the same time, which if you poser in Photoshop for a while, you know what I'm talking about. Don't get them mixed up. Alright, now I've got my plates as all white on a back background. And I'm going to save this onto my desktop as Championship Belt D, JPEG, and bam. Okay, now this is really all you got to do. Head back over to Poser. We're going to go back to our material room in which we had here, and there might be easier ways to do this. This is just how I've done it, and Championship Belt. And this is how I just kind of like discovered this on my own. So no one showed me this. You want to go into your advanced settings. You got your champion image map here, as you can see. Got your champion image map that pulls together the bump map and whatnot. What you want to do is you want to go down to displacement, new node, 2D texture, image map, source file, and you want to select that source file that we just had here. Okay, and that right there is actually going to give you the rays, but it's going to be crazy way too big right now. What you want to do is go down to texture strength, and this number may take some time to play with to find the right mix for you. I'm just going to put it at like, we're going to do 46 whatever for the first there. Okay, and then go back to the pose. And theoretically, if this works correctly, whenever we render, which I'm going to check my render settings real quick, auto settings should be on final, manual settings. Now I always do subsurface scattering and indirect light, even though this probably won't be anything for this. That's just what I do. I like the highest quality render I can get. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-calculate the lights. And if we did that correctly, we did. As you can see, the plates raise up. Now it's not perfect, and there's a little bit of gray there, but you now have a three-dimensional fill to your belt. And what I like to do with this is here, I'll go ahead and export it. I'll show you. We're going to do champion belt render 2. What I like to do now is after I've saved my image, I like to come in here and open this up, and then just add a blend of like a drop shadow. And whenever you do your drop shadow, just oops. Just do a drop shadow kind of like this, or there we go, that works. My spread is too big. Anyways, kind of to give it more of that, another three-dimensional fill whenever you put it onto another image. It takes some playing with it. I mean, like I said, if you've used Poser in Photoshop for a while, you can figure it out. It's not hard. And now we have this. As you can tell, there's some gray here on the sides. One way that you can fix that is actually on this layer here. Let me see, free transform. We're going to set. You can actually make these a little bit smaller. Let's just say 98% by. Now I don't know what this is going to look like. I didn't play with it. What you'll do is you'll move everything around a little bit more. But let me show you exactly what I'm doing here. This is going to be the displacement map, JPEG, save. I just want to show you what the difference is once you start playing with it. Okay. Go ahead and reload the textures. It's going to be the same textures. I didn't change anything like that. And this time, now that that's been a little bit smaller, yeah, there we go. See, you make it smaller, and now the plate sides actually comes in and pulls from the main texture itself, so that the entire plate is golden, doesn't have that gray going in. Obviously, as you can see over here, if this is going to be a final belt, I would play with it a little bit and get that off. But that is actually how you cut that gray, the texture bleeding onto it. Is the white space needs to be a little bit smaller than the other. Anyways, that's the basics. Play with it. It's not. I don't have it down to a science at all, but by doing this, you too can have more three-dimensional looking belts. I hope this was explanatory enough. Thank you.